What is wrong with this team? Everything. I don't know what is wrong. Like, it's just never easy, is it?
Lin Dunn didn't just throw Stephanie White under the bus. She launched that thing at full speed with zero breaks, and Indiana Fever fans are absolutely spiraling the drama unfolding in the Fever front office. Just hit a brand new tier chaos. And make no mistake, this mess could have serious ripple effects on Caitlin Clark's career. This isn't just some petty beef. This could flip the entire narrative on how the league treats its brightest star. How do you feel about the suits upstairs dictating how coaches handle generational players? Do you think Coach Stephanie White should be fired? Or does she need more time? Let us know in the comments below.
I'll say it. Fire Stephanie White. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Let's not dress this mess up. This is a full throttle circus, and I'm here to unpack every unhinged twist of this Indianapolis soap opera. Lin Dunn didn't just light a match. She went scorched earth on social media, torch in hand. And when veteran execs start spilling tea in public like this, that's not a spark. That's a five-alarm inferno tearing through the Fever front office.
Like Lin Dunn posting, and this is again the former like GM of the Fever, who's now something to do with the Fever. I don't know what her role is. She goes, don't expect the players to do it if you don't drill it.
Let's rewind for a sec. Remember how this season was supposed to play out? The Indiana Fever stormed in like they were crafting a super squad, stacked with seasoned vets and playoff mileage. Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson. It felt like they were assembling the Avengers. On paper, a dream team. In reality, the execution's been sloppier than a toddler with a paintbrush. But here's where the train completely derails. It's not just the L stacking up in the standings. The real breakdown? How Caitlin Clark is being handled. You got the most electrifying offensive weapon the league's seen in years. Not just a record breaker, an internet-breaking phenom. And what's Stephanie White's big play? Rip the ball from her hands and toss her into a sleep-inducing, lifeless motion offense that's got half the fan base dozing off.
I mean, this offense looked awful, and Sydney Colson, my God, is terrible running point guard on this team. Terrible.
Now, for those lucky enough to have no idea what this so-called motion offense actually looks like, picture this. A group of players playing hot potato on repeat, just swinging the ball around, praying the defense forgets how to defend. That's it. No punch, no purpose. It's the kind of system you run at a JV scrimmage, not with elite pro-level talent. And when you got Caitlin Clark in that mess, it's not just a tactical blunder. It's borderline sabotage. That's like dropping six figures on a Lumbo and never taking out a first gear. Why have horsepower if you're too scared to hit the gas?
They had 0 fast break points. 0 fast break points on the game. 0 fast break points. I don't care what this score ends up.
Let's talk facts. Back at Iowa, Caitlin Clark was the offense. She thrived in a free-flowing system where she called the shots and lit up scoreboards like it was nothing. Fast forward to last week. She dropped 54 points worth of buckets and assists against the Liberty. That's what happens when you let her cook. But Stephanie White, she seems allergic to giving Clark the keys. Instead, she's wedging her into a rigid system that strips away everything electric about her game. Then came the fireworks. Enter Lin Dunn, former GM, now mysteriously tucked away in a senior advisor role, who clearly hit her breaking point. She took to social media with a not-so-subtle jab. Something about not expecting players to execute what you don't drill in practice. Harmless? Maybe at first glance. But let's be real, that post was loaded with shade. You don't need a PhD in drama to know exactly who that shot was fired at.
Stephanie White is getting destroyed today. Ken Swift posted this, a picture of what's supposed to be Christy's side.
And it wasn't just what Lin Dunn said. It was when she said it, her post came right after yet another brutal loss. Where the offense looked completely lost, the players were out of sync, and Clark, she wore that frustration on her sleeve. Fans, one more lifeless possession away from storming the court with pitchforks. Dunn didn't just toss out a cryptic comment. She practically laid out a blueprint of everything broken in Stephanie White's system and slid it across the internet like a mic drop. And the fans? Yeah, they're done being polite. One savage comment nailed the vibe. The fans are turning on Stephanie White, and fast. These aren't casuals flipping the channel once a week. These are ride-or-die Fever loyalists who've suffered through years of mediocrity. If they're bailing this early, that's not a red flag. That's a neon billboard flashing, danger ahead.
Like, they were embarrassingly bad without Caitlin Clark. They were just embarrassingly bad. And I mean this. A good coach will figure something out. A good coach will figure something out. Does this team play defense? No. No. I mean this. This team doesn't play defense. They've just gotten lucky. Teams miss shots. They've gotten lucky. Teams miss shots. They don't play defense. They still don't play defense. I know they held the Mystics to 83 points. This was a Mystics team who were not shooting well. They don't play defense. They don't defensive rebound. They don't put in any effort. And that's on coach. That is on the coach.
What makes all of this even more infuriating is that it was totally avoidable. People were waving red flags months ago. They warned it was a disaster waiting to happen. Taking someone as dynamic and freewheeling as Caitlin Clark and forcing her into a rigid, old-school motion offense? That's not strategy, that's sabotage. Fans and analysts begged the staff. Build around her, let her lead, lean into her strengths. But nope. Stephanie White clearly thought she knew better. Now the results are screaming louder than any critic ever could. And here's the part that'll really melt your brain. White got fined recently for criticizing the refs. But maybe, just maybe, it's time she stops worrying about officiating and starts looking in the mirror. Because what's sinking this team isn't a few blown calls. It's the fact they're actively wasting a once-in-a-generation talent. Let's talk numbers. When Clark is on the floor, the Fever's offensive rating is 107.5. When she sits, it plummets to 82.2. That's a 25-point drop. That's not a dip. That's a full-on offensive collapse. You don't need a stat sheet to see the problem. You just need eyes.
I'm sorry. There is no way you can have 0 fast break points a team unless you are actively trying to not run. Unless you are trying to not run. You cannot have 0 fast break points as a team. Someone just said it, no defense, no offense, no fight. Outside of Lexi Hull and Aaliyah, or not even, I can't even blame Aaliyah Boston. She didn't touch the ball.
The so-called motion offense. In theory, it's meant to create rhythm, flow, and reactive movement. In reality, it strangles creativity, smothers momentum, and turns playmakers into traffic cones. And with someone like Caitlin Clark, who sees the court in 4K while everyone else is still buffering, you want her improvising, slinging dimes, bending defenses, and turning chaos into highlight reels. Instead, they got her standing still, passing sideways, like she's just another piece on the board. You wouldn't tell Steph Curry to only shoot layups. So why is Caitlin Clark being boxed in like she's a role player? And don't even get me started on this ridiculous take the ball out of her hands strategy. This woman is already a legend. She led Iowa to back-to-back title games, shattered every scoring record in sight, flipped the WNBA into primetime viewing, and oh yeah, redefined what a rookie can be by becoming a first-team All-WNBA player. In year one, you don't rein that in, you unleash it.
But the Fever got rid of her, and the Fever got rid of her coach. They got rid of her, and they got rid of her coach. They got rid of exactly what she wanted to do. And you know what? I hate saying this. Lin Dunn was probably right when she said it should be a 5-year plan to improve. That the plan to improve should be a 5-year thing. I actually think that she was right in saying that. She was 100% right. And they fired her to quick fix it. Which is, a little bit disappointing. It is a little bit disappointing.